What is ominous is the ease with which some people go from saying that they don't like something to saying that the government should forbid it. When you go down that road, don't expect freedom to survive very long.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You ready to dive into some more fascinating ideas?
Always up for a good deep dive. What are we looking at today?
Well, today we're going to be exploring freedom.
Yeah, big topic. Huge.
It is. Really huge.
I'm intrigued. Where are we jumping in from?
Well, we have this really thought-provoking quote from the economist Thomas Sowell.
Okay, yeah, I know Sowell. Interesting guy.
Super interesting. And this quote is all about censorship and sort of the slippery slope of it.
Okay, yeah. Censorship is one of those topics that everybody has an opinion on.
Totally. It really gets people fired up, doesn't it?
It does.
So are you ready to hear this quote?
Lay it on me. I'm ready.
Okay, here it is. What is ominous is the ease with which some people go from saying that they don't like something to saying that the government should forbid it. When you go down that road, don't expect freedom to survive very long.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement.
It is. It's like so simple, right?
It is.
Well,
but it's like it's so simple, but it's heavy at the same time.
it is heavy, yeah.
It is. It's like one of those things that just hits you right between the eyes.
And that's why I thought it'd be great to kind of unpack it a little bit today.
For sure. Now, just to remind our listeners, Thomas Sowell, I mean, he's not just some random guy with an opinion, right?
No, not at all.
I mean, he's like a renowned economist and social theorist.
Yeah.
You know, and his work really focuses on like individual liberty and the role of government.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, his words carry weight. You know what I mean?
They do. They really do.
You know, when you read a quote from him, you kind of sit up a little straighter.
You do. It's like, okay, time to listen up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So going back to the quote, it really highlights this danger, right?
Yeah.
This danger that we just assume that if we don't like something, it should be banned.
Right. Right. And it's like, who gets to decide what we don't like?
That's a great question, right? Like, what about, like, art that some people find offensive?
Whoa!
Or books with controversial ideas? Yeah, those are, like, classic examples.
They are.
You know, where's the line? You know what I mean?
Where do you draw that line?
And that's where the whole idea of the slippery slope comes in.
Okay.
And I think that's really what Sowell is warning us about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you start banning things based on just like personal preference.
All right.
And pretty soon it's like anything goes, you know?
Yeah.
There's no logical stopping point.
Yeah, because like today,
Yeah.
it might be a book that you find offensive,
Mm-hmm.
but tomorrow it could be something that I like that somebody else wants to ban.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, we can't just pick and choose, you know, what freedoms we want to protect.
It's true. You can't pick and choose.
It's got to be for everybody.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, you know, sometimes they think like, oh, this is just some like abstract philosophical debate, you know?
Yeah, like a thought experiment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like, this would never actually happen. But it does happen. I mean, history is full of examples
Yeah, that's true.
where censorship has actually had a really negative impact.
Yeah, sometimes they're not even like ill-intentioned. You know, they're trying to protect people.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like it often starts with good intentions, you know?
Mhm.
Like we just want to protect people from this bad thing.
Yeah, but it's like, who decides what's bad?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, who's the ultimate authority on that?
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I remember like years ago I actually thought that banning certain books was a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, I thought they were protecting people, but then I read this article about a banned book, and it was about how like this book actually helped someone, you know, cope with a really difficult situation.
Mm.
And it totally changed my perspective.
Yeah, that's what's so powerful about stories and about different perspectives is that, you know, what might seem harmful or offensive to one person might actually be really helpful and insightful to someone else.
Totally.
You know, and that's why it's so important to have that open exchange of ideas.
Yeah, it's like we all bring something different to the table, right?
Exactly.
And by trying to like silence some voices, we lose out on all of that richness.
We do.
Like we lose out on the potential for growth and understanding.
Absolutely.
So to sum all of this up, like for our listeners, what do we want them to take away from all of this?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that even if we find something truly objectionable, you know, even if it like really rubs us the wrong way, we have to be really careful about calling for a ban.
Yeah.
You know, because protecting freedom means protecting even those ideas that we dislike.
It's like what we were talking about before about the slippery slope.
Exactly. You know, once we start going down that road, it's really hard to turn back.
It is. So before we wrap up, I have one final thought I want to leave our listeners with.
Okay, I like it. Hit me with it.
Okay. So imagine you have the power to ban one thing, anything.
Okay.
What would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one, right?
Okay.
But here's the catch. Before you answer, you have to think about who might then come after something that you value.
Oh, that's a whole other layer to it.
It is, right?
Yeah, that makes you think.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
Because freedom is a two-way street, right?
It is.
And it's fragile.
It is fragile. Yeah, it requires all of us to be responsible.
And to think about, not just what we want for ourselves, but what we want for everyone.
Absolutely. That's such a good point.
So something to really think about.
Lots to ponder.
Lots to ponder. Well, hey, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into freedom and censorship.
My pleasure. Always a great conversation.
I know. I love our chats. And thanks to all of you for listening.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, we'll get you next time on another deep dive.
See you then. Bye.